In today's episode, we're going to be talking about two of the famous or most commonly known investment vehicles, the 401k and the Roth IRA.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So let's jump in and let's talk a little bit about the 401k to start us off. The 401k. Where do you get a 401k from?
You get it. You order it online from the computer.
Amazon.
They send it in a box.
That's right.
It's a workplace benefit.
Yeah, most of the time it's your employer.
Employer.
Right. So you have an employer that has a 401k, and sometimes they do a little employer match.
True.
Would you do it?
Absolutely.
You would match do you
3%,
take advantage?
6%, whatever it is, it's free money.
Free money.
Free money. You just have to match it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Contributions are pre-taxed with the 401k, right?
That's true.
So it reduces what is known as reducing your taxable income.
Yep.
The next one is it grows tax deferred. What does that mean? Tax deferred.
That just means you're not going to pay taxes until you withdraw it, use it.
Okay.
So you could leave it in a 401k for 30 years. It's growing tax-free, and then you pull it out, you have to pay taxes.
Check.
It's tax deferred.
Tax deferred. Some people would say that might be a con of the 401k.
How? I don't understand.
Well, if taxes, do you think taxes are going to go up in the future
or
down in the future?
I think I'm not even going to play that crystal ball. It's so hard to predict. Yeah.
But
that's a
I
good
think
point.
that's where.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's a good point. They might go up, but you never know.
You never know.
You never know. That's true.
Some people say taxes are going to go up, and that might be why it would be a con if I have to pay more on my money, my investment later on.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit.
I would say that, like, if you're in a lower income tax bracket right now, I'm getting ahead a little bit.
Sure.
But so I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
You have to Roth IRA.
Yeah, that's where we're going next.
That's where we're going. So I'll let Justin talk about that a bit, and then I'll make a few comments about that because you got to compare and see which one works best for your situation and your goals.
Yeah. So the Roth IRA isn't a supported, an employer supported plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get it on your own.
You get it on your own.
Get it on your own.
Where would you go for this one?
You could go Fidelity, Charles Schwab, T. Rowe Price, any place that offers them.
Yeah. So this isn't something that your employer provides, but it's readily available outside.
I will say that some school districts and places are doing the Roth 401k. So it's similar, but not exactly the same.
Right. That's a good point.
Because you can't pull out the principal
right.
from a Roth 401k.
Right.
Where a Roth IRA you can.
Yeah. You're getting into some weeds
there.
I'm
sorry. I got a little excited.
I'm keeping the surface level.
Yeah,
and you're going a little deep. I like it.
Yeah. Well, if you look at Para and it says Roth 401k, it's like, oh, what is that?
What's the difference? Yeah. And do I want that one? So you have to set up a system where you are contributing to your Roth IRA because your employer is not contributing. So you have to create that own individualized system. Contributions are a little bit different than the 401k. They're what we call after tax.
Right.
So I'm taxed and then I put my money in, if I'm saying this right.
Yeah, that's right.
And then what happens? It's taxed after I pull it out, right?
No, it grows tax free. When you pull it out, you get it all.
Yeah.
So if you put in $6,000 in a Roth IRA, you've already paid tax on it. If it grows to $25,000 and you're 59 and a half, you get that cash right there, all of it.
You get whatever the growth and your contribution.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And withdrawals are 100% tax-free. And like you said, both the 401k and the Roth are a 59 and a half
age where you can.
Yeah,
you can't withdraw before you're 59 and a half or you pay a penalty, 10% penalty.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where the distributions,
yeah,
that's the word I'm looking for.
But what's nice about that though is the Roth, you can pull out the contributions because you've already paid taxes. So over years, imagine you put in $50,000 in a Roth IRA and you wanted that money for a house or emergency or whatever, it's your money. You can pull that out before you're 59 and a half. So there's a little more flexibility.
Yeah.
I like getting in the weeds, Justin. So one more little weeds here. The 401k, you can get a loan too off your own money. That's an option. It's usually not encouraged by personal finance gurus, experts, but you do have options with it too.
Yeah, and I think once again, it's one of those things where you have to do your own personal research, find out what works for you. Is it best to just keep everything in the accounts and growing, or take some of that money out, right? It is the personal finance. Now, how much can I contribute to a 401k?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Because I don't contribute anymore.
There's actually two numbers. That's true. That's true. You're in that retirement stage.
Take it out of there.
That's right. 4%, right? When it comes to the 401k, you can contribute $23,000 if you're below 50.
Okay.
If you're 50 and above, you can contribute $30,500.
Who can afford to do that? That is so much money.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
That's $30,000 401k.
That's a max out of the 401k.
That's a lot of money.
When it comes to the Roth, do you know the Roth numbers? What can you?
I think I know that one. I think it's $7,000 if you're under 50.
Yep.
And $1,000 more if you're over 50, so $8,000.
Yeah.
So a little bit more if you're trying to catch up with your savings for retirement. They give a little more leeway for older people.
Yep. This is another reason why some people might go Roth, because they can max out that 7,000, 8,000, and then they trickle in the rest of it over to the 401k. Or if you're a teacher, you've got something called a 457.
Ooh.
That one's a fun one too.
Yeah.
You have to do your own personal research. See which one works, or which combination of vehicles work best for you. Which one would match your lifestyle? Which one would help you get the lifestyle that you want in retirement? Maybe it's both.
Yeah, maybe so. But you brought up earlier that 401k could be taxed higher later. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely true. We don't know what will happen. And most people suggest starting with maxing out a Roth IRA. And I agree. For most people, that's probably the best first move financially. But if you're in a high tax bracket and you think you're going to be in a lower tax bracket in the future, which is kind of rare, then maybe you put in a 401k now and then you're in a lower tax bracket later. So, but the Roth IRA for most people is the best move.
It fits a little bit better with their system there. Yeah. So that's just a quick little sum up of the 401k and the Roth, with a little 457 nugget to get you thinking about something different.
And a little Roth 401k in there just to mess with you a little bit.
Right.
But you're right. Those two are the biggest, big ones. 401k, Roth. Understand the differences and see how they benefit you. And you make your decisions based on that.
Absolutely. Anything else?
I think that's great.
Perfect. Hope it helps. We'll catch you guys next time.